Hey guys, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk with another episode of their latest Rekkid is Great. And so, who I'm going to be talking about today are classic LA punks with a rockabilly tinge, the band X. In 2020, April 2020, they released this album, Alphabetland, which was their first release in over 20 years. The first time the core original four members of the band released something in 35 years. So that, of course, would be your dual singers, John Doe on bass and vocals, and Exene Cervenka, she providing vocals, Billy Zoom with guitar, saxophone, and piano, and DJ Bonebreak with drums and percussion. And I've learned that DJ Bonebreak is actually his real name. Did not change it. I'm guessing Billy Zoom and John Doe aren't real names, and I think Exene's real first name is Christine. And so it's a pretty short record. It's got 11 songs, 27 minutes. So most of the songs are clocking in around 2 to 2.5 minutes. The longest song on the entire record is 3 minutes and 4 seconds. The shortest being 1:37. And if you liked X in the early 1980s, their first few albums, you're going to like this record as well because it really does harken back to the original X. And reading up on it, a couple of the songs, the last song on side one called Delta 88 Nightmare, and on side two, the third track on side two, Cyrano de Berger's Back, are both old songs that had been written back in the day and never properly appeared on an album. I think one of them had been like a bonus track on a reissue, that sort of thing. The other songs being new. The first 10 of the 11 songs are pretty much as I described what you would expect. Not sounding all that much different from X album from the early 1980s. And in a sense, track number 10, your penultimate track, which is called, if we can get some focus here. Oh. Goodbye, Year, Goodbye. That wasn't entirely successful. Goodbye, Year, Goodbye. Sounds like a pretty good track to end the year with. 2021 is ending, and this is almost certainly going to be the last video I have out before 2022, so Goodbye, Year, Goodbye. The 11th and final song is really sort of an outlier song, All the Time in the World, which is basically spoken word by Exene over piano, and she's kind of talking about mortality, sort of lamenting a lot of people probably from her life, the lives of the band that didn't make it to year 2020 when this was released. In particular, there's a mentioning about crashing steel and needles. The crashing steel would probably be referring to her sister who was killed by a drunk driver in 1980. She was actually going to see one of X's shows. And the part about needles, I'm sure, is a reference to various people that they would have known in the music world that succumbed to drugs over the years. So kind of a downer way to end what was generally an upbeat, pretty fun album. But there you go. X Alphabetland is a good record. They still have it. I approve.